Edgar TV.
How do there, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV. And today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at elite sport travel. Now, when obviously the restrictions and everything came out for COVID, it was all publicised that elite sport could still go ahead in certain restrictions, certain travel and different bits. So this is the first time I've had to leave the UK for elite sport purposes, and there's quite a bit of a minefield that you need to go through, and I just wanted to share that with you today. So some of the documentation, obviously you are going to need a passport, completely self-explanatory. A boarding card, obviously we need to be simple, self-explanatory. These are things we expect, nothing new there. Next up, we've got a declaration of travel. Now what this is from HM government, which is basically where we're going, why we're going, and sort of where we're going to be returning to, because elite sports are no longer exempt from the 10-day quarantining on return. So this is basically just to say where you live, and just a bit of background information. So even when we come back from Germany, we will be having to do that 10-day quarantine, except if going for elite sport purposes, for training or for applying or competing in sport. So Declaration of International Travel, that is a new one. Now something we need is we need a letter from our governing body. You'll see here, this one is for the Germany side of things, and I'll basically just give you a bit of information what it looks like. It's a certification of travel basically from our governing body, which just says Mr. Matthew Edgar is a professional dart player. He's going to be exercising his profession, travelling to Niedenhausen for professional events. Players' Championships 9 and 12, which we know as the Super Series. The dates of it, the hotel you will be doing at. The event has been approved by the Ringai Tanzu Kuris Health Authority. That makes sense to anybody? The Health Authority. I'm not sure how to read that, that's pretty different, and that the Super Series is a professional sport basically. It talks about the organisers of the event, where the event's going to be held. The player is allowed to stay at the event for the tournament days and a certain number of days before or after the event, which is obviously while we're waiting for flights or coming before flights and transport. The player manager has received a negative PCR test, which we'll get to in a second, and they will be conducting another test on arrival to the hotel. So we're not even allowed into the hotel until we conducted another test, just because of that travel period in that 48 hours, and then just saying that we booked as a business traveller. So that's the letter to get us into Germany. Obviously coming home, we've got a letter here from the PDC and Matthew Porter. This is to bring us back to the UK, just basically saying that the above person is returning to the UK, having participated in professional sport, which is what we said before, the Players' Championships, the events, the hotel, the dates of those. Under the protocol, quotes the legislation in which that is allowed to be done with elite sport travel. The Amendment Regulation 2020, this person will undertake. It says about our testing. We need to do testings on days 2 and 8, which we've been made aware of, which we'll have to book when we're out in Germany, and may also do a test on day 5 to release themselves from that self-isolation period. If not doing one on day 5, you've got that 10-day self-isolation period on return to the UK. As the event was staged under strict COVID protocols, which are bubble environment, which is over there, which includes health screening, COVID test on arrival, temperature checks every day. So there's quite a big sort of protocol over there that's being followed too. This letter just supports that for the return to the UK. The process was obviously licensed by the authority, which we mentioned in the last letter as well. And then should you need any further inquiries, contact the PDC. So that is those letters in terms of getting in and out. The other thing we need is this final one. So this is a certificate to say we have had a negative PCR test in the last 48 hours. So I went and did mine with the PDC over at the MK Arena. Got my my swab done up the nose, you know, the usual sort of COVID thing. Then they send you through a certificate, which is this one. I present this at the airport, which then is basically like a fit to fly. So it allows us to fly and travel over to Germany. I'll have to do the same on the other side at Germany, so we'll get those tests done on the last day of play. We go down, the PDC is going to do the swab and everything, issue with the certificate, so that we can travel back and do all this basically in reverse. So it's a lot of paperwork, a little bit nervous to say the least, because normally I'm a passport and boarding card, and even then I'm not confident about getting that right. So A little bit nervous about all this paperwork and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. But if you ever wondered how elite sports are allowed to travel, there's a lot of protocol, a lot of paperwork. We've still got the 10-day quarantine on return to the UK, so look forward to that. Lots of things going up the nose. I'm going to feel like a 5-year-old child at school watching TV or something. You know, when they watch like the board and everything, it's always finger up the nose, isn't it? I'm going to feel a bit like that. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you find it a little bit informative. If you have, I will be documenting this journey throughout. So do hit the subscribe button, join the Edgar Nation, and I'll catch you soon, guys, for some more Edgar TV. Edgar TV.